Hey, this is Matthew.
And this is Vinny, the wrestling figure historian.
Welcome back to Nerd News today for some more wrestling figure reviews. And once again, we're taking a look at Ultimate Edition Series 2. This time around, we've got the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
And we're taking a look at the Bret the Hitman Hart figure from his famous 1994 Summerslam cage match with Owen Hart, and coincidentally, his famous Monday Night Raw match from that same year against the 1-2-3 Kid.
In fact, that took place on July 11th, 94, which is really not that far from when we're filming this, which is pretty cool.
25 years ago to the day.
We're old.
Oh God, yes we are.
Yes, we are. But this toy isn't. It's fresh and new, and that's my segue. Go with it. So this is the packaging, once again, for Ultimate Editions, in this very unique shoebox style with this bizarre little sloped sides. It's unique, we'll give them that, and it's pretty cool once you take it out.
Yes, it is. Let's take a look at a little bit more closer to the package itself.
So on the top, it just says Hart. That's cool.
Meh.
Yeah. But on this side, we got Bret Hitman Hart, which is also very cool, and this nice photo of Bret as well on this side here. And again, as you saw before, the packaging is a nice window to see everything you get here.
Yep.
But the back is where the action is.
Yes, it gives you a brief description of Bret the Hitman Hart, a little brief description of some of the accolades he has, which is the 5-time WWF champion, or WWE champion, I should say, and a little bit brief description of his legacy. Also has a action shot of the figure itself, this one with him in his full entrance attire, and then afterwards a real life shot of him holding up the WWF title.
Which, we were talking before with Nakamura figure how we knew it was WrestleMania 34 because it was his WrestleMania 34 attire and the WrestleMania 34 logo is in the background. In this case, this photo is a little bit more ambiguous.
Yes, this is where now I'm starting to think this is really based off his match with the 1-2-3 Kid rather than the cage match against Owen Hart.
Now, essentially, it is the same outfit, though. Just with this photo, though, there's no cage, which therefore would mean it's not specifically meant to be the Summerslam, if you want to really nitpick.
Yeah, I actually recently watched that match, and I was like, oh my God, it's the same attire.
So we'll say it's 1994 Bret Hart. It's pretty much the best way to call it.
And this was like the beginning of the real height of Bret Hart's popularity.
All right, so Vinny, why don't you do the honors and open him up.
You got it. And hopefully we don't destroy the package this time.
It wasn't my fault. You distracted me. See, because you're all neat and precise. I just tore it open.
Yeah, but here's the thing. And I am going to say this about the packaging. You actually don't want to destroy this packaging because, one, it's very useful. And two, there's still cool stuff inside the packaging once this is all opened up.
Most importantly, it is very, very collector friendly, as you'll see, because it's easiest to put it right back in there.
Yes. Missed one.
Oh, you missed one. Who's the idiot now?
But here's the thing. I didn't just yank it. I'm not Isaac Yankem over here. There we go.
Oh.
Nice open in one piece. As we could tell, over here on this side, it does give a brief description of the Ultimate Edition line itself. And then on here, gives one of his quotes, the excellence of execution. And then his most famous quote of them all. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
And you've noticed we just flipped this packaging upside down with him open. It didn't fall out. None of his accessories fell out.
So
he's in there pretty tight, but that's also because, as we're going to see when we open him up and get him out of there, he's got a lot of rubber bands on him. That's going to be a pain. Because they're not going back on.
Nope. But at this point, once you open him up, what's the point of the rubber bands?
Yeah. And just so you can specifically see it, it's the hands and the arms that specifically have rubber bands, which Nakamura didn't have. I don't remember if Ronda did, but I
believe Ronda did have them, yes.
Yeah? Okay.
If somebody wants to correct us in the comments, please be my guest.
But it's annoying and we have to deal with it.
Yeah, I know.
All right, let's get Bret out of the box.
There we go.
And so here we've got now Bret Hart loose. He's out of the box. And there is, now that we've seen him out of the box, there's definitely some pros and some cons immediately. Some that are much more glaring than others.
Especially if we could compare it to what we just reviewed before.
Yes. So we just looked at the Shinsuke Nakamura Ultimate Edition, and one of the things we talked about in that video was about how his entrance gear didn't really have any space that was wasted.
No.
Especially by the arms, which is something we've seen in a lot of Elite figures.
With a lot of Elite figures, and even like when my one big gripe was when they did the hard plastic jackets, it's like you limit the articulation.
Yeah. This style, you have articulation now. You got a lot of range of motion, but oftentimes the cost is space by the arms. And unfortunately, with this Bret figure, you got a pretty big gap in his armpit. That was not expected.
No, I was not, compared to what we've seen with Nakamura and Ronda Rousey, definitely one thing I didn't expect.
Like Ronda had the tiniest little space, it was noticeable, but this is really pretty bad.
Yeah, this is...
And compared to if you want to break out Nakamura, who we just reviewed, you know, Nakamura has nothing, no space. It's a much tighter form-fitting jacket there.
Form-fitting jacket. Granted, yes, Bret Hart has a looser jacket to begin with.
But not that loose that he's going to wear a leather jacket with sleeves that have his armpits hanging out.
Yeah.
On both sides, you can see it as well.
It is a bit of a disappointment.
And the other thing that I noticed too...
I was expecting better.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the other thing I noticed too was that his head is like perpetually pointed down. And that's because of how his hair is stuffed into the jacket. You can't really get his head to sit straight up unless maybe you put the hair into the jacket.
We're going to try that
resisting.
next.
But you can see it's like, you know, it's very much resisting.
Unless you put the jacket over the hair.
I don't even know if it would fit.
Yeah, it would.
Because part of his hair is currently in there anyway, but that's, you know, it looked weird to me when I got it in box 2 the first time I saw it. Now that it's out of box, I realize that the problem is that I don't like either. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a misstep. But I got to say, the one thing that I love is the head sculpt. This is easily the best Bret Hart head sculpt we've seen.
Yes, that I will agree with.
And best of all, it's got removable shades, which I think we'll get to that in a little bit too.
Yes, not too many Bret Harts actually have that to begin with.
So this is, as we mentioned, the SummerSlam 94 1-2-3 kid match. Somewhere around that. It's that time frame of Bret. And so let's talk about I'll show you guys the back as well, the outfit and everything. And looking at photos, I think it's pretty darn accurate.
Very, very accurate to it, yes.
So I'd say the jacket is very, very accurate as well. And pretty cool.
It is a
nice
very accurate, yes. And
I like the tights as well, like how they did the skulls. They did their best to get them to match up, which is hard to do. But
with the way the joints are, but
yeah,
I can't. I'm looking at it, I'm like, pretty damn good.
Yeah, they did a great job of hiding the skulls in his head as well. Like this, you know, the skull kind of gets onto the knee joint, but it works. It still fits. Looks good. Yeah. If you line it up, it's good.
It can be lined up easily. Yes. So
boots are very cool. Also, you know, a pink and black figure is always really cool looking to begin with. Bret is just really a great toyetic character.
Yeah.
And this nails it here.
They did a great detail on the boots. Great detail on the legs, even the back of the pants.
So let's go ahead and take a look at him out of the jacket, shall we?
Yes.
So to do that, we're going to have to take out his arms. And luckily, he comes with an extra set of arms to wrestle with. So just like the other Ultimate Editions, arms come out really easily.
Mm-hmm.
And to get the jacket open, there's just one little thing. And boom, he is free. And now he can actually test the head. Yes, it does go all the way back. So the jacket was really hindering it. So why don't we swap out a head as well? Let's swap out a head, maybe some different hands.
Well,
because
first, let's take out
that's right.
his glasses.
The most important thing,
which
really.
Does come off relatively easily.
This looks really funny seeing without arms doing that, though. He's just screaming in agony right now because you tore his arms off.
Well, you should have taken his glasses off. Now he has to see it.
So, yeah, there was some complaints I heard from a lot of collectors about the visor and how they're not like, if you remember when Jakks did theirs, they were usually more close to the actual material Bret wore with an elastic strap.
Yes.
Whereas these just slide onto his head.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which come out a little bit thicker, but
yeah,
at the same time, it looks stupid when you have to waist the band around the hair itself, when it's supposed to be hidden under his hair.
So my big thing with that was, and I still have, in fact, it was my Survivor Series 97 2-pack with Bret and Shawn, which came with those sunglasses that are removable. After a few years, that elastic tends to get loose.
Yeah,
and eventually it just completely loses its form. All it can do is basically sit in one spot. The minute you move it anywhere else, it can't do anything. It no longer is elastic. So
short run, those visors don't look that great. Long run, though, they end up serving its purpose.
Yeah. And so you can see now the splatter paint outfit, which is indicative of that 94 time period.
Yes. Like, she only wore that style not too many times.
Yeah. Bret's face is just so, oh God. He just is in so much pain right now. We got to put some arms on him.
Yes. Let's do that quickly.
Hurry. So we noticed with the Nakamura review that his entrance gear arms had a notice of which hand was left, which hand was right. These do not.
Okay.
So that'll be a thing for us to try to remember. We're going to leave these hands on this one just to help us figure it out.
Arms going relatively easy. Like Nakamura, we have 2 extra sets of hands. One closed fist, which I think everybody should have that for the Ultimate Edition. They should always have a closed fist and an open fist in case you want to give them accessories or anything. But then unique to Bret Hart, we have his open hands for when he enters into the ring to give his iconic Bret Hart pose. So already from what it looks like for me, it's better off I put the hands in first, then the arms. So there we go.
So I'll have to try that again later with the jacket on to see how his hands look, but it still is basically the taunt. He's done it without the jacket as well.
He has done that, yes.
His bizarre Bret Hart taunt. Look at me! Look at me!
Yeah. So.
That's pretty much it. But that screaming face, though, that's we need to swap that head. That's just frightening me.
Well, it does fit him with the hands like that.
It does. It's just still it's still a very, very
creepy Bret Hart. Now that we did it with the arms off. But his arms are back on, so he might not need to scream anymore.
I mean, now it's much creepier.
Perfect heel Bret Hart.
Yeah. No. Don't hit me. Don't hit me. Low blow. It's a very high low blow. But all right, let's swap out a head, shall we? You want to use Smiling Bret there?
Yes.
Less creepy Smiling Bret. Head comes out. That was really easy. So we noticed with these neck joints, with Nakamura in particular, we had an issue with them staying tight when we put the heads on. This one, I don't know. We're gonna have to try because it looks like.
No, but from what I'm also seeing, yes, because it looks like with Bret Hart, they painted the torso that color, which I'm not a big fan when they do that. That they paint the whole body rather than the actual attire.
Pretty good Bret head.
Yes. Now that the jacket's off, let's talk the articulation of the upper body, because the one issue with the jacket was his arms are limited by the shoulder pads.
Yeah, now with that jacket off, he's got a lot more. Well, still pretty decent, but now he's got a lot more mobility. You got the full mobility of Bret Hart now. Includes the head, which is ball jointed, but that hair is still actually kind of a hindrance because it's got a lot of hair, and it moves, but it might just be the joint itself, but it does feel kind of weird. Can't tell if it's the joint or the hair. It's actually restricting it. So we've got ball jointed shoulders to go up and down, and he could be a bushwhacker. We got biceps, which we should mention too. These arms look really good. That was actually the thing I saw in the packaging. The arms are like unique to Bret, and they look great. They look like Bret.
Yes. And now here's another thing that I do love, and let's talk the attire again. I love it how with the arms they gave him the elbow pads.
Proper elbow pads, yeah. It's all new elbow pads.
Because I believe when they came out with his Royal Rumble '93, which was a ringside exclusive, that also came with the jacket. When you took the jacket off, there were no elbow pads. It was like a big miss, my opinion. And plus, that was back to the old way they were doing jackets.
Big rubber jacket,
big rubber jackets that had no articulation for the arms and actually killed the entire figure for me. Granted, yes, like Matt mentioned before, there is space in the arms from the jacket. At least you have motion with the jacket now.
Yeah. And with these elbows, by the way, the elbow pads that he has, which are unique to him, they're kind of hiding his double jointed elbow, but it's really nice. And now you can do a nice elbow to the head if you want and go bam. We do have wrist movement. We have this special torso buck here, which is exclusive to the Ultimate Edition.
Yes.
The waist moves like all other figures do. This toy's a little stiff out of the box, though. But
that's expected.
Nakamura was a lot looser. It was more like playable already. This one, especially this chest here, feels like it's really resisting me. So that could just be paint. I'm afraid to push it beyond that limit right now, but that's interesting to note.
Again, at the same time, the Bret Hart, it's like the entire body is painted. It's not like the attire itself.
So here's our legs. Bret never could do a split in real life, I don't think, but wow, look at him now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Again,
DDP yoga really paying off for him.
Yep. That's the one great part about the Ultimate Edition is the articulation is just amazing.
The legs are basically the same as most elites are now, though. You have the thigh joint swivel. You've got the double jointed knees, which is really cool. The boots twist. Your ankles have the joint, but the toe joint is what's unique to the Ultimate Edition. So you can go up on his toes and get some poses, which do add a lot to the figure in little bits. It's a little bit of detail that adds a lot to the storytelling.
Now, one also thing with the head sculpts, and you pointed this out to me. When I saw the paint job on the head, I was like, why is it all smudgy by his chin? It's actually...
Bret's been eliminated from the Rumble. Luger fell with him at the same time. Who won the Rumble?
We don't know. Send in McMahon. Back to the head. It's actually the stubble that actually is very, very faint. And actually, if you do look at pictures of Bret from that time, he was sporting a little bit of stubble. So
yeah,
and that's the first time I've ever even seen a Bret Hart figure with stubble.
And stubble's been an issue for a lot of toys in the past, especially with elite figures. But now that they've been doing this whole new True Effects head sculpting technology, they've finally figured out how to paint the stubble pretty decently. So
yes,
this is
they
very good stubble.
Mattel is really getting it on point with their head scans.
So let's pop in the other head sculpt, speaking of, so we haven't put in the last head. which is like serious Bret.
Which this would be perfect wrestling Bret.
So I also want to actually see if we can, because I haven't tested this yet. I want to see if I can get the glasses on the other Bret heads. So let's see if that's possible. It's like it might be.
Give him closed fist.
Yeah, kind of does sort of. Yeah, kind of sort of does fit. So at least this head, that's 2 of the 3 so far that you can get the glasses onto.
Which, for me, very hard to see Bret Hart without glasses on a figure.
Yeah.
Because especially from the Hasbro days, I always grew up with Bret Hart in glasses no matter what figure I got.
Yeah, always in glasses. Always uppercutting people, always wearing glasses.
Yep, I still say my favorite Bret Hart figure of all time is the Hasbro line. So, and same thing.
Yeah.
Glasses do fit on this head sculpt as well.
Now he kind of looks like the Terminator, Bret Hart. Let's take a look at that head sculpt without the glasses too, though, just so you guys can see that. I don't really know which one's my favorite. I mean, I kind of like Smiling Bret, but they're all very good. They all look like Bret.
Smiling Bret is like one that you would never expect on a figure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like Screaming Bret that much. I mean, it's cool.
Screaming Bret would be perfect for entrance gear.
Yeah, it totally is made for that.
Shots.
It's just his head looks fat compared to it. I don't know, just maybe just how the cheeks are because he's yelling and his cheeks are
that could be
more bloated. It doesn't. There's something a little bit off about it, but these 2 heads over here I really, really like. Regardless, they're still both like the best Bret sculpts, head sculpts we've ever seen.
There's no beating this Bret Hart in terms of head sculpts. So.
Like they got the nose, the lips, the mouth, like everything about this is just 100% there.
Yeah.
It's totally Bret.
Like what I would be tempted to do is if I did decide to go into customizing, use one of those head sculpts for the King of the Ring 93 Bret Hart that came out from Ringside Exclusives.
Yeah, maybe. They've now posed him as Mortal Kombat Bret.
WrestleMania the arcade game Bret?
Yes, there you go.
Actually, now I think about it, this attire does look a lot like the one he used for WrestleMania the arcade game.
Do you think it's the same outfit?
I don't think. I would have to go look at a closer look at that game, but who knows? Maybe.
Well, luckily we have the internet.
Yes, we do.
No, it's not. It's not it.
No, it's not quite it. But it reminds me of the game now that you have it set up like this.
Yes, well, we should just play the game regardless.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, we should. That's a different video. Or is it? No, it is. We're not going to do that because no, it's a toy video. We're not. Save it for a different video. So that's our look at the Ultimate Edition Bret Hart figure. And yeah, it is ultimate for a reason.
It is.
And so you're on the fence about it, though. I don't really know how I feel. I mean, I really, really like a lot of things about it, too. The jacket does kind of annoy me.
The jacket is what's throwing me off. And then again, I do have that 93 Bret Hart. And for me, that was one of the definitive Bret Harts to get.
Yeah, it's a pretty great Bret to have.
Now let's see if you could put the jacket on with the hair in.
Yes, so you can. You can actually put it in, so that's good. You can tuck it in, so that's handy. So it does definitely look better that way.
Well, then maybe that could be the reason why there's a little bit of more space in the jacket, in case the hair goes in. Does it push it up a little bit?
I mean, you can basically have his head the way it's supposed to be now, with the hair in the jacket. So there it is. You can see it's behind inside the jacket, and now he looks normal. The problem's all this with that, but at the end of the day, he still has a giant armpit.
And if you look, actually, the jacket did move up a little bit because the hair's in.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the reason why they gave him a little bit more space.
Yeah, but still, I mean, even if you push it up, I mean, it's tough. That's tough. It's a pretty big gap.
Unless, let me see one thing. There's your reason why. Because if you raise his arms, it's going to push the jacket up.
Yeah, Bret doesn't really walk around with both arms up. And, I mean, yeah, it looks good on that side. On this side, and they're about the same length up. In fact, actually, this arm's up higher.
Yeah.
So, and it's...
It does make sense why now there's... Okay, so I could live with that. If that's the reason why they put the space there so you can move your... Because with Nakamura, he really didn't have to worry about that restriction.
No, he doesn't really have the giant tassels like Bret
does. He doesn't have the giant tassels. But now I'm looking at it again, the jacket. My God, that is a beautiful jacket.
Yeah, texture's really good, too.
So, maybe now that I see it that way... I could live with that space a little bit better now.
I mean, I'd say you're going to have a hard time finding a Bret better than this. And we just got that King of the Ring Bret that we talked about, which is pretty great.
That was one of the definitive ones to get, but now...
Yeah. Then this came out a few months later.
Well, you know what? I'll say this. The King of the Ring Bret, if you actually prefer the Bret Hart with the black top and the pink bottom, this is the figure to get. If you prefer the inverse, get the King of the Ring 93 version.
So that's our look at Ultimate Edition Bret Hart Series 2 by Mattel. We like it a lot.
We do.
I'm pretty happy with it.
Now I'm just curious, what Series 3 is going to bring to us?
I'm just curious the fact that Bret's head can actually... It's like something out of It. Like
It's... Yeah.
he can support himself by his hair. What filthy monster is this Canadian?
Oh my god.
I always knew Canadians were aliens. This is proof.
That is creepy. Oh god, that is really creepy now. Never mind that thought.
The marching Brets are coming after you.
Oh god. Oh,
Well,
god.
on that note, I'm Matthew.
And this is Vinny, the wrestling figure historian.
This is the Ultimate Edition Bret Hart waving goodbye. See you guys next time.